Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. This next story is the ultimate bridezilla moment because when the bride's trying to cut corners, guess who she thinks should do all the makeup? That's right, someone she barely knows who isn't even invited to the wedding. ROP is a full-time student with a job and a hobby-level interest in makeup, but somehow gets voluntold to do 6 full faces, including the bride herself, totally unpaid. Oh, and she'd need to buy all the products herself, too. The audacity. Off the charts. Let's get into it. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. Bridezilla wants me to do 6 full faces for free? Oh, and I'm not invited. As a quick background, I, 23-year-old female, am not a makeup artist. I enjoy doing makeup, and I'm good at it, and sometimes I'll do my friend's makeup if we're going to a party or other event. However, I don't actually have the materials, range of skin, /eyebrows, etc., shades to accommodate anyone who's not similar in tone to myself. I also should make very clear here that I see makeup as a hobby. I lead a pretty busy life as I'm in a full-time college course, non-makeup related, and I have a job, non-makeup related. My roommate's sister's getting married in April. I've met her twice. I was in the kitchen eating my cereal, and my roommate came in and began describing a conversation that she'd had with her sister. To summarize, her sister had been saying how she didn't want to pay for a makeup artist for her and her bridal party for her wedding when OP could just do it. Her bridal party consists of herself, her 4 bridesmaids, and her mother. The wedding is a 2-hour drive from my apartment. This alone sets me up with a 10-hour unpaid day. To add to this, the wedding is on a Monday when I would usually work an 8-hour shift, paid. I also don't have makeup that matches the bride's or any of the bridesmaids' skin or eyebrow tone, so I would potentially need to purchase this. I asked my roommate how much I would be paid to do this, expecting a smaller sum than a qualified makeup artist, but surely enough to cover travel, any new products, and a gift. Note, I would not be expecting an hourly rate or anything, and she replied saying that I would not be paid at all. To add, I was also not to be invited to the wedding. I'm kind of the view that if you feel like we're close enough for you to ask this favor from me, I should at least be invited as an evening guest. As I'm not a professional, the concept of doing someone's entire wedding party's makeup sort of freaked me out. What if I mess it up or it doesn't last all day? I'll just be blamed for a bad job when it's a very stressful request. I really think that this needs to be shamed, particularly as my roommate did not seem to see anything wrong with it. If you want good makeup, pay for it. Don't ask favors from people you barely know. A little bit of human respect goes a long way. If you can't afford to pay people for their time, don't have such an expensive wedding. People need to stop abusing others' kindness for their own personal gain. Without being paid for such an event and losing the day's pay for work, this is extremely harsh. Plus, if the makeup wasn't perfect, I promise this woman would accuse you of sabotaging the wedding. And our second story. Grandma Theft Auto. This happened a couple days ago. I work at a family-owned pharmacy that caters to elderly and disabled folk. We sell durable medical equipment in my department, scooters, wheelchairs, etc. My boss asked me to come in to work that day to cover for another employee. I'm a broke post-grad nugget, so I went in for overtime. I had no idea what I was in for when I walked in. About 2 hours into my shift, a tall customer who looks like she's in her 70s is escorted from the pharmacy at the back of the store into our department because she's having difficulty walking. We'll call her Patricia. My coworker will call her Teddy today. She's an 80-year-old, 5'3" badass. Assist this woman in sitting down in one of our scooters so they can look at canes and walkers together. P. Oh, I had a scooter like this before. Could I take it to the store down the street and then bring it back? This isn't too unusual. We're in a little strip mall type complex, and we encourage people to try out our equipment like this so they get what they want, and they don't return it. T. Well, yes, but company policy would require me to take your card information until it was brought back. Note, this scooter's over $1,000. That Teddy is being this generous is awesome, but we're known for our customer service. P. Oh, that's fine. She hands over her credit card and gives Teddy her umbrella and the cane she's planning on purchasing and takes the scooter out. Teddy watches her leave the store before looking down at the card. Her mouth falls open. Me. What? T in a hushed tone. This is Patricia, last name. Note, I've heard of this lady before, but I'm too new to have met her. I thought she was dead until she ordered a scooter over the phone the week prior. She's a notorious alcoholic, and she's bought 3 or 4 scooters from the store before because she'd drive to a bar, get hammered, then forget her scooter. We've basically picked up and rented out and resold her scooters who knows how many times. Me. Didn't she buy a scooter from us this month? T. Yes, and it's here. We keep trying to deliver it, but she won't answer the door. She looks again at the card in complete shock. T. I didn't even recognize her. Teddy suddenly gets really nervous. This is a lady who's seen just about everything, i.e. the type of woman who says, "Sir, I don't know what catheter you need because I don't know how big your bleep is," in the blink of an eye. T. Can you check and see if you can see her? She went down this way. I need to call a coworker of ours. I go out there to look, and the other guy on shift, we'll call him Dale's already down on the corner and coming back up. Dale, she took off this price tag. She's gone in the liquor store. T. Keep an eye on her. I have to call coworker to follow her. Once she comes inside, I'm kind of in awe. Me. What's going on? Before Teddy can even answer, Dale comes back in. Dale. She's on the other side of the interstate with a gallon of whiskey in her hand. Teddy. Yeah, she's heading home. Me. So what are we going to do about that? Teddy. Oh, I called coworker. He's going to go back to her house and get it. This woman says this so casually, I just kind of stare at her. Me. Why not just call the cops? T. Well, we'll get it done before they get here. Our coworker that was sent on this boozy fetch quest soon returns on the scooter and just stops and sighs. T. How'd that go? Fetch quest, bro. I had to sit behind her in a Carl's Jr. drive-thru before I could do anything. I couldn't just kick her off if she can't walk. We look in the scooter basket. Bro got himself a burger. T. Did she go home? FQB. Yeah, she was halfway through the bottle when I got there. I talked to her and got it back. She's probably passed out by now. Apparently, she just got out of jail. Me. Dale. Well, me. What is this job? FQB. You guys want some fries? Heck yeah, I want fries. Teddy finally looks at me and says, the worst part is I was the person helping her the last time she stole a scooter. So this wasn't even a first. I'm so glad I went to work. Honestly, I thought pharmacy life would be boring. Turns out we're out here running mobility heists, dodging DUIs, and doing whiskey-fueled recon missions on our lunch breaks. I now have a hilarious mental picture of Patricia driving down the middle of the interstate in the scooter with multiple cop cars, sirens blaring, and hot pursuit. Thank you for this. And our last story. The Vengeful Chef, a cautionary tale from the night shift. I work night shifts in a small, inconspicuous private laboratory, the kind of place you'd never notice from the street, but where something critical is always bubbling under a microscope. Blood samples, DNA analysis, strange tests that would make a normal person queasy. It's not glamorous, but it's important, and it's exhausting. By the time most people are brushing their teeth for bed, I'm halfway through a long haul of centrifuges and slides, praying the coffee machine doesn't die on me, which is why, for me, food is sacred. A homemade lunch is my ritual, a small island of comfort in a sea of petri dishes. Each night, I bring a carefully crafted meal from home, steaming soup in a thermos, bulgur with roasted vegetables, sometimes a cozy little casserole with raisins. I cook with the care of a Michelin chef trapped in a fluorescent lit lab, because when you're pulling an all-nighter surrounded by germs, healthy food isn't just a choice, it's survival. But then the thefts began. At first, I thought I was imagining things. Maybe I misjudged how much soup I'd packed. Maybe some spilled. I didn't want to sound paranoid. Until my entire container of homemade syrniki, Ukrainian cheese pancakes for the uninitiated, soft, golden, and borderline divine, disappeared without a trace, gone, vanished like a ghost in a lab coat. To add insult to injury, my yogurt had been chugged and the empty bottle placed back in the fridge. Who does that? A psychopath, that's who. Still, I tried diplomacy. I scribbled a note on my container, "Do not touch. Your kidneys are begging you not to." Apparently, the thief's kidneys weren't persuasive. My bulgur vanished next, half the portion, just enough to make me furious, but not enough to catch them red-handed. Colleagues began whispering, Mikhailo's fish casserole has disappeared. Miss Oksana joked about supergluing lid shut to trap the culprit in a sticky mess of karma and adhesive, but no one wanted to escalate. Office politics, you get it. Well, I'd had enough. So one fateful night, I prepared a very special salad, boiled beetroot with garlic and mayo, swapped the sour cream for yogurt, a calculated decision, and then the pièce de résistance, I sprinkled in a little herbal digestive tea blend from the pharmacy. Just a touch, nothing harmful, nothing illegal, just enough to move things along. I packed it in a clear container and labeled it boldly, "Try me, you might regret it." Bait set. The next morning, Lyra, the ever-smiling clerk from the analysis department, was mysteriously absent. Word soon spread she'd been hospitalized with an acute digestive crisis. Doctors discovered she had a severe dairy sensitivity she'd never known about. The timing? Impeccable. Eventually, the truth emerged. Lyra had been freeloading for months, not just my lunches. Half the lab staff had fallen victim to her sticky fingers and shameless appetite. And yet, in a twist that would make Kafka proud, she filed a complaint against me, claimed I'd committed food sabotage. I was summoned by the director for questioning. What exactly had I put in the salad? I answered honestly, beetroot, garlic, yogurt, and a little blend of harmless herbs, nothing you wouldn't find in your grandma's pantry. And if someone stole it, I added, pausing for dramatic effect, well, that's on them. After an internal investigation and multiple testimonies, I was cleared. Lyra, however, was not. Turns out stealing lunch is against policy. Who knew? She resigned for health reasons shortly after. Rumor has it she can't look at yogurt or mayonnaise without gagging. Small victories. But karma, dear reader, has a bitter aftertaste. As a result of the incident, management banned all personal food from the shared fridge. Now we all schlep thermal bags to work like medieval peasants carrying stew to battle. And me? I've embraced my new title. Around the lab, I'm now known, affectionately I hope, as the Vengeful Chef. My lunches remain untouched. My synarchy? Sacrosanct. I've also downsized my meals to small containers and eat them promptly, just in case someone else gets ideas. But they won't. Not anymore. Because now they all know I've got imagination, herbs, and absolutely no mercy. Bon appetit to all the Karens of the world. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.